And I'm gonna go over some advanced scripting, some basic stuff here real quick. Before we go, this is basically what I'm doing before we go ahead and do an actual launch for ourselves, and then we'll show you how to do a launch inside Air UI's campaign here. So UI here, right here in the campaign set here. But anyways, before we do, let's go into the advanced scripting because that's what we use. I'm just gonna show you some real basic stuff. So all this prompting is already in there already. The Air has put together. You can add additional prompting, but when you do, you just got to make sure you keep the same formatting here. Otherwise, it's not going to work at all. I did add this right here. Every 10 words say every 25 words say every time before they go into a question say and sometimes the air agent will go on a freestyle. So it'll do so basically when it does, I want it to slow it down when it does that. All even though I have these programmed into the script. Sometimes it may not go into its own freestyle. It will once it starts learning and has a bunch of phone calls. You'll start to see that it can start freestyling because it's learning. But you want to make sure when it's I want to make sure when it's doing its freestyle that it's I can get it slowed down because it's kind of veering off script, but it's on the subject on the lines of what that script is, so they kind of learn from the previous conversations there and end up doing its own freestyle. So this is how it looks. It's pretty cut and dry and can be somewhat boring, but it's better to write scripts out of here for various different reasons. You can still get away with the basic script, the standard one, and do what you got to do. But with this one, you can add so much prompting in here. Like everything is inside knowledge base, so you can have some dynamic things inside knowledge base. What's the cost of this, and what's the cost of that, and what's the cost of this, and it can go into your knowledge base and get that, and it's in a payment link per knowledge base. So that you could definitely do that still inside the standard. You can also prompt that inside the prompt here as well, some sort of dynamic pricing model as well, which it could be very difficult to do, very long to do, put together, depending on how dynamic your pricing is for your offer. So but I essentially just made this one to go ahead and set up appointments. So you want to keep note too when you're starting the script. It's different too. If you look back at a standard one, it's completely different. Everything is case sensitive inside the advanced mode. One thing you want to note too is the squiggly line. You want to make sure you add the squiggly line, space, quotes, and then what they're going to say, and then end it with quote. In the C phrase too, keep note they don't like where you have the prospect name mentioned twice in the seed phrase, so you can kind of go as long as you want here, even have multiple sentences, but just don't have the prospect name twice. And I did that and made a call, and it just sat there in silence. There's just dead air. It didn't work at all. So just keep note of that. Um, then you go. I did forget. So if you don't end it with a quotation, it's not. It's going to then include wait for prospect to respond. It is a very awkward moment. I actually had that happen recently. It would say something and wait for prospect to respond. I went back to the script and noticed, oh, I forgot to end the quotation there. So you got to make sure you put quotations there. That's not something you do in standard. That's something you have to do here. You also have to type these out anytime you need to wait for a response. Whereas on the standard, you just hit the space bar and it automatically does it for you. You got to manually type that in here. And the key note too, it's much more user friendly to type it inside like a notepad. Here's my notepad right here, and then copy the script part and and just from here keep this edit the C phrase inside air, but start from here and down all the way down here where it says end script here. And this is how you end the script too. It's a little bit different from your standard as well. I did add an in call here as well. So another key note that I did, and this is where I kind of forgot the quotations. This here was actually all bunched up into one. So what it kept doing is I forgot to put it in quotation there, and it kept saying wait for prospect to respond after it said this. Wait for prospect to respond. I also did the same thing up here when I was booking an appointment. It would say what time is best, this time or that time. Wait for prospect to respond. So again, I forgot to get add a quotation there because I added the scripting there and then didn't end it with the quotation there. Another thing too is I did not have a squiggly line or quotation in for this as well, so it just kind of basically take this away, and that's what it looked like. It didn't even say that. So you just got to keep note of that. It didn't even prompt my action to end the call. So reason why I separated these and I added this sentence in here, because when this was all put together in an action, it has a 5-second delay to end the call. So it's reading this entire sentence, right? And it reads that there's an end call action for the sentence, and it's going to prompt the AI agent to end the call the moment it starts reading here. It's obviously not going to be able to get through this whole thing in 5 seconds. So I broke it apart. It kind of, what it does though, it stops in the middle of saying day. So I'm going to shorten this up a little bit, basically, so it ends the call accordingly. So the way you do that, you have a create action, going back to end call action, end call, and create. And then when you create it, this is kind of the screen it looks like here. Give it a name and put the line quote of where you want it to end the call. That's how you do that. Don't forget to go ahead and do the test call as well. The I am a cow. That's another thing you got to do. Let's see, and that's basically it. Some of the scripting there. I got to go through the knowledge base as well. Make sure the knowledge base is in quotes as well. So I'll go in the knowledge base real quick and show you what our knowledge base looks like. This one right here. It's a lot. So you can see here. I just got to make sure these are all quoted accordingly. Otherwise, it's gonna also say wait for prospect to respond. So I'm gonna go through there and just audit these. Like some of these don't even have quotes from what it looks like. So I don't think these are necessary. These are just some basic things, some knowledge base for our air agent to kind of gauge the conversation. So yeah, and these are more of answering. Okay, but anyways, that's basically it. That's all I want to go over here with you. Next one, probably we're gonna go ahead and launch a campaign. Hopefully that's the case. So we can show you how to actually launch a campaign inside the Air UI. Now, if you need our help, go ahead and click on the link below. Go ahead and schedule a consultation, like a one-on-one consultation, if you like. We can set something up for you, a completely custom setup. If you want us to use this to where we're setting up appointments for your organization, we can do that. Or if you need a coach to coach your developer to walk you through on how to set this up for your business, we can certainly be there for you as well. So go ahead and set a one-on-one for that. And go ahead and like, subscribe so you don't miss any other future videos, and go ahead and leave a comment below on about what other things you like to go ahead and go over that you want us to go over with you as well. So that kind of gauges us to what sort of content we want to go ahead and launch next for you guys. So see you guys on the next video. Next one, hopefully we get this thing launched out to where we can show you how to launch a campaign out of Air UI. All right, take it easy. Later. Bye.